Please welcome to the stage Xinwo Huang.
Hello, everyone. So here from Tencent, also talking about the CarbonX program. I know probably many of you have probably heard about this name, right? We actually did a webinar with CDR FYI, I think last week. I think many of you actually attended the webinar. So we're here. So here with me, we actually go to the. So in a nutshell, basically, we are a program that provides tens of millions of dollars in grant funding, right? It's also from a non-commercial pool, budget pool, in a nutshell. And before I go into the details, so here with me I have my colleagues, Liu Chuan and Safina with me, right? We're actually here for 2 weeks, here in New York City for 4 days, and we'll be heading to Boston, Houston, and the Bay Area. So if you actually want to chat on a one-on-one basis or join one of our meet and greet events in Cambridge and also in Palo Alto, please probably scan the QR code and register there. And we also have a WhatsApp, kind of official Q&A channel, right, on the bottom right. In your application process, if you have any questions, please shoot a message there. And we actually have 2 real colleagues who are kind of managing that account. Yeah. And we have our email addresses on the bottom left. So I always want to start my presentation from this page, right? So, and many of you know, so Tencent is a global tech company. So our main business is mostly around social media and gaming. So what is our relationship with climate tech, and especially CDR? So in our team, in the Tencent climate team, right, we do our work from kind of 3 perspectives. One is that we committed to be carbon net zero as a company by 2030. That was announced in 2021. So yes, we are a buyer, right, in the CDR space. So actually, in collaboration with many of you in the audience from that capacity. And the second topic is really the focus today, is around how can we support the acceleration of emerging low-carbon tech globally. And for that purpose, we actually set aside a non-commercial funding pool that provides catalytic grants in that nutshell, which is called the CarbonX program. So for this audience, I think we don't need to explain like how important DAC is. So this is really what it is all about. So we started the program back in March 2023 in the first phase with a pure focus on carbon capture, right, which includes both point source and DAC. And had a pretty good run. We had about probably 300 applications, mostly within China, because we didn't say domestic, but like all of our materials in phase 1 were in Chinese language. So most of the applications we received were from within China or Chinese teams probably outside of China. And this year, we kind of got a mandate to actually, hey, we need to go global, right? There are a lot more innovation going on globally. So we actually will divide basically carbon capture or CCUS into 3 different tracks. And the most relevant one for today is probably the CDR track. But we also have a point source CCUS track and also a CCU track. And then if you have friends who are working on like long duration energy storage, right, LDES, please spread the word as well. So how it is being run, right? The total funding pool for phase 2 is tens of millions of US dollars. And we have 4 tracks. In each track, so we will probably select the top 10 or 20 teams after the first round, right? Mostly based on assessment of technical innovation. And then in the second round, so from that kind of more short-listed pool, we will support up to 3 teams to build an actual pilot project. Hopefully it's first of its kind outside of a lab in the real industrial setting, right? Either it's a CDR or point source or CCU case. And then we welcome teams from all kinds of early stage teams, right? Whether it's university, research labs, or startups, right? I think many of you are probably in the startup words, which are super relevant for today. I kind of overheard the Glenn's talk in the backstage, I think, which is a perfect example for this scope. And the program is co-launched by a set of partners, right? All of the logos here are actually like very active partners in our program. As mentioned, CDR FYI, we actually co-hosted a webinar last week, and also XPRIZE team, like Asian Development Bank, African Development Bank, Global CCS Institute, and many of our industrial partners and also investment partners. I know like James Monk is in the audience, who are actually assisting us to prepare the pilot scenario or pilot site, right, in Kenya and in other places as well. And also the process is not the selection process is not, we are kind of managing the process, but the actual judgment work will be centered around our expert committee, right, which is a pivotal part of the judge committee. And kind of the above half were mostly the experts from our phase 1 program, and many of them will continue to be the judges this year. And we're adding more and more experts to the committee. And very fortunately, today I think Professor Klaus Neckler is actually in the audience, who will be also co-chairing the committee. And we also have many familiar faces like Niall, Jared, and many others who will be sitting on the committee as well. Timeline. So we officially launched the program back in December last year, right? We're now in the active recruiting phase for submitting proposals. And important date, so May 31st, right? 2 months from now is the application deadline. So we our team is kind of go around the word and is kind of trying to spread the word. Yeah, but if you already have your proposal ready, please submit the application probably sooner than later. Then the selection process for the first round will most likely happen during the summer, right? Most likely probably in July and August, because this is a global competition, so the first round will probably happen online, right? It will be kind of an online presentation and Q&A process. And by the end of September, we will announce the in total, probably top 50 to top 80 list. And then each track, there will be probably 10 or 20 teams. And we hope that list is highly representative of kind of the next generation emerging tech in each field. And after September, probably will be more kind of closed door review and selection, right? All of the teams that enters the second round probably will need to submit even more detailed proposals, right, based on the site information. And we actually probably will organize some of the trips to some of the pilot sites we're thinking about. And the goal is that hopefully by the end of next year or like latest February 2026, all of the pilot projects will be awarded, right? That's basically less than a year from now. The website is online, right? So that's actually all you need to go, right? CarbonXprogram.com. You have all the information you need, the application guide, the application portal, and once again, we have the WhatsApp channel that's managed by a real person who can answer questions almost on a 24-hour basis. Yeah. So spend a little bit more time on the CDR track, which is, I think, the focus for today. First, probably don't concentrate on the Kenya part, probably on the 3 kind of buckets right on the top. That's really the key here. So 3 criteria. We're focusing on supporting a 100-ton scale pilot, right, which is, we think is a kind of the first meaningful milestone outside of a lab. And secondly, we're focusing on durable, permanent removal, right? DAC is definitely the permanent example here, right? So the pure nature-based solutions is probably not in scope, but anything like enhanced weathering, biochar, BCCS, those stuff is definitely in scope, and DACCS, of course. And thirdly, we're trying to fund the next-gen technologies, right? So, which means you already have a pilot somewhere, and you just want to do it once again in Kenya using the exact same technology. That's probably not a good fit. So we want to see enough level of innovation and also kind of new stuff, right? Next-gen stuff in the proposal. And then in terms of pilot side, I got this question a lot in the past few weeks, right? So first of all, why Kenya? James probably have an even better answer than me. The grid is almost 100% RE-based, right? And then Kenya has vast amount of basalt suitable for CO2 storage. So from a DACCS point of view, I think it's actually one of the best places to do a pilot. So I think this case is like, hey, if you have your capture technology ready, and then we probably will prepare the site and prepare all the logistics to support you to land the project in Kenya. So that's one case. But like as I said in the first page, so our focus is really to support accelerating emerging low carbon tech around the world. So in the case where you already have a pilot site or have your own scenarios, own partners, which is probably not in Kenya, pretty submitted proposal as well, right? As long as it fit into the 3 buckets in the top, right? As long as 100-ton scale, permanent removal, and it's next generation technology, pre-submitted proposal, right? If everything's ready, like in your home country or in somewhere else in the world, we definitely hope to support that as well. And very quickly, so we have kind of 3 other tracks we'll cover very quickly, right? Point source. I know some of you, if you're working on capture, right, some of your materials can do both DAC and point source. And this year we actually specifically picked steel, which is I think is a global thesis, which everyone acknowledge that like CCUS will play a pretty pivotal role in decarbonized steel. And for point source, I think the first meaningful milestone outside of lab is 1,000 ton, right? And we probably will also like focus on next generation technologies. And for CCU or carbon conversion, we actually kind of have 2 sub-tracks in it, right? One is that we probably will support some ton scale pilot, right? Also outside of the lab. And also we have already formed the consortium, we call it CarbonX Made, where we actually want to make actual products using CO2 as a source, right? So we're not just stop at the CCU technology stage, but all the way we are in very close relationship with like people like McDonald's, Unilever, right? Hey, Pepsi. So we actually want to make CO2-enabled products in consumer-facing products from these partners. LDS, sorry, I'll probably skip that, but if you have any friends who are working on long-duration energy storage, please spread the word as well. Yeah, so once again, if you want to chat one-on-one or attend some of our events in Boston or in Palo Alto, please sign up. And we're here in the city for a few more days. The whole purpose of this trip is to spread the word about CarbonX. So if you're interested, please come and find us, and we're happy to chat one-on-one. Yeah. Thank you.